KR Mangalam University, a premier higher educational institution known for its commitment to academic excellence and holistic development. As part of our dedication to celebrating International Women's Day, the university is all set to celebrate these extraordinary women. With this, we aim to raise awareness about female education, highlight scholarships available for women, inspire young women to achieve their dreams, and build a supportive, inclusive community for women. The School of Journalism and Mass Communication is honored to contribute with a series of inspiring podcasts sharing stories of women's achievement and resilience. Stay tuned for empowering stories and conversations inspiring change one voice at a time.
How pharmaceutical science has been evolved over the years.
The field has grown over the years, and definitely this is a field which will never get saturated.
How pharmacists and medical professionals educate normal people.
Healthcare is a amalgamation of everybody coming together. Ultimate goal is one, patient care.
Can a pharmacist, other than a doctor, be the trusted source of information?
Pharmacist is a reliable source as he is educated and knowledgeable about which medicine to be taken. But definitely a doctor's consultation is also important. During COVID, we all heard about black fungus. Now, why did that black fungus happen? So, when steroids are used unnecessarily, and if you are diabetic, this definitely will lead to black fungus. So, a lot of women are suffering from infertility problems. By 2035, 60% of women will not marry.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, the KRMU Times. With a freshly brewed podcast, I'm Soumitra Halder will take you through this. And the podcast comes under the Shero Campaign of Mangalam University, which promotes women education and their scholarships. And before getting into the podcast, I want to tell you something very significant, which is, if one of the wheels of a cycle smaller than the others, the cycle cannot move forward. The same way goes with the society as well. If in society, the women and men are treated differently, the society also can't go forward. When the topic is about women and men equality, then we can't skip the women health, because we all know that women health is always neglected as compared to the men. Health is something that we cannot buy. And on that topic, the guest we have is already on the show. And we are welcoming Dr. Hema Choudhary on the show. She is the professor and dean from School of Medical and Allied Science of KR Mangalam University. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you, Soumitra.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
I am Dr. Hema Choudhary, working as Professor and Dean at KR Mangalam University, School of Medical and Allied Sciences. So I am here in this podcast to represent Women Force and to support the Shero Campaign launched by KR Mangalam University in order to cater to good education and good health for the women folk across the globe.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on the show. I'm so glad that we are sharing the same screen. So whenever I meet a successful person in my life, personally, the question initially hits my mind is about their journey. So please let us know about your journey.
Soumitra, if I go back, my journey started somewhere around 25 years back in the profession. But in pharmaceutical sciences, I believe since I understand that was my age of around 18, when I was probably your age, the journey started. Before I venture into the journey, I would like to mention that this is a very dynamic and a happening field. This is to do with the well-being of the society. So with a lot of acknowledgement and appreciation to what I am today, I wish to agree that this journey I would split into professional and personal. Now personal is once you are done with your grade 12th, then you need to choose a career path. So actually I did not have much difficulty because pharmaceutical sciences is in our family. So my dad himself was a pharmacist, my elder sister, my brother. So basically I come from a pharma family. So we eat pharmacy, we drink pharmacy and we sleep pharmacy. So that was the purpose that I got into this profession. And talking about professional advantage, I knew that this is something to do with health. But when I really got into it, I really understood the value, the contribution and the scope of this field. So I am here today on this podcast, and I believe whatever I have learned through these years, I would be able to put it across during this show.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And how pharmaceutical science has been evolved over the years?
Definitely, there has been a paradigm shift because, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. So, as and when the necessity comes, inventions happen. So, keeping up with the trend, of late, COVID impacted the world. So, we developed vaccines. So, pharmaceutical sciences journey has also been tremendously revolutionary. It has been emphasizing what is the need and also thinking beyond. We are representing a field which is not only catering to the current day needs, but also with the advancements in different sectors. Because as everybody understands and agrees, higher education is always multidisciplinary. So with the impact of AI, ML coming into our lives have been impacted. Now we are just one click away globally. We want to reach out to anybody. So similarly, even healthcare has really revolutionized. So for that purpose, I would say that there has been a paradigm shift. Today, you want to sit at home, get the service, you get it, even with respect to health. So definitely the field has grown, and if the field doesn't grow, it will be left behind. And health is something which we cannot neglect.
Bilkul.
So for that reason, definitely the field has grown over the years, and definitely this is a field which will never get saturated, because well-being is the priority of every individual and the right of every individual. So this field is something which will never show you saturation, and the advancements will be going on.
But how pharmacists and medical professionals educate normal people, common people about this?
Yeah. See, we are all healthcare workers. We come from the same domain of well-being and health, but we have our own defined roles and responsibilities. Like for example, a doctor represents a medical profession, and he is best of its ability to diagnose a disease. So if an individual or a human is suffering from some problem, so he goes to a doctor. Now doctor puts him on to a pathologist who does the biochemical investigation of the body, and he gives the reports. Again, the doctor does the diagnosis and he makes a treatment plan. Now the pharmacist comes into role. The pharmacist is the one who is behind the scene. The medicines, drug discovery, everything is done by a pharmacist. So pharmacist, when he gets educated, he gets a feel of what is human body, what are the regular biochemical reactions happening, when and what disease etiology he has to be aware, and he goes more in detail about learning about different medicines, which we call in pharmaceutical language as drugs. So they are the masters of understanding and applying their knowledge and coming out with products, which we call it as medicines. So interface, and nurse is one who administers. So doctor does not administer himself or herself to the patient. Then the nursing profession comes into picture. So we are all a team. Healthcare is a amalgamation of everybody coming together. Ultimate goal is one, patient care. So our main focus is that we bring out medicines as a pharmacist. Our purpose is that we bring out medicines which is very much reachable, affordability wise, and also it has to be very effective. So we believe in affordability, accessibility, and also bringing out the best therapeutic outcome. So that is our purpose. So that is why we keep on improvising on the drugs which are already marketed. So research never comes to a standstill, and that is how we spread awareness also, because we are into retail business, we are into manufacturing, we are into research. So we are not only restricted to research, but we go into the retail business also, and we are the front face who interact with the patients. So we do their counseling, we make them aware about what is the reason you are taking this medicine, how much you should take, and what is the duration for which you will take the medicine. So that is how we impact.
Can a pharmacist, other than a doctor, be the trusted source of information, especially for women?
Definitely. I would endorse this question that yes, pharmacist is a reliable source as he is educated and knowledgeable about which medicine to be taken. But definitely a doctor's consultation is also important, because a pharmacist is much aware of the medicine but not about the human body. So at times, if you do self-medication, that may be impacting with wrong outcomes. So for that reason, to rely on information, yes, pharmacist could be a replacement to a doctor, but yes, it is advisable, because at times the pharmacist may not be very prompt in answering about what should be the dose as per your body requirement. He might be manufacturing a product of a particular dosage, but he may not be judgmental in understanding what is your body need. So for that, a medical help is must. So for seeking information, just for awareness, I will give an example here. During COVID, we all heard about black fungus. Now, why did that black fungus happen? The reason was people started taking this medicine because we were not able to reach out. We were not able to go to the medical practitioner. So in the family, since everybody caught up with the infection, we took online consultation and we got list of medicines which one had to take. And the next person got infected in the families. They said, okay, same medicine will apply. But what happened? This led to abuse of steroids. So when steroids are used unnecessarily, and if you are diabetic, this definitely will lead to black fungus. So that black fungus was like a side effect. So that kind of consequences should not be seen. So it is advisable for information. We can rely on pharmacists, but a pharmacist should not independently anytime take over the doctor's part. He should work in consultation with the physician.
Got it.
That is the right approach.
As you were a woman, so what do you think, what kind of unique challenges that women face when it comes to research on this particular topic?
Well, if I start answering this, maybe some forces may not agree with my statement, because today we talk about gender equality. So there should not be challenges. As a woman, I should be saying that I have a challenge in my workplace. So, but yes, answering to your question, definitely, if you talk about research, there are certain challenges. The first and foremost is we don't bring in women as volunteers in clinical trial studies. Now, clinical trial is a technical word. Basically, when a drug is manufactured and before it goes to the patient, we try to use it on small number of patients. Then we increase the count of patient. You must have seen this development during COVID also. First they did on animals, that was preclinical. Then they took it to humans, hundreds, then thousands, then it goes to millions. So these are phases of clinical trial. So when we bring the drug into the market, it enters in phase 4. Phase 4 is when we have started giving to masses. So basically when we do preliminary trials, that is in phase 1 trials, when we start using on humans, we don't take women volunteers much. Maybe voluntarily women don't come up more. And second is because of hormonal effect. Generally ladies have a biological cycle of menstruation. Then a woman could be pregnant, a woman can be lactating. So keeping these challenges in mind, women as volunteers are less. So that's one biggest challenge in research. Now, if I'm working on a drug which is meant for women, then I need women volunteers. So that is the biggest challenge. Second is when you are into clinical trial, you have to be day in out with the clinical trial organization who is working on you. So consent. So your family may not be ready for that. And as I told you, maybe you are in that age group where you are going through different phases of your other responsibilities. So for that reason, in research, definitely women involvement is not to that extent. And talking about research, when I talk about involvement in research, also it's challenging because research doesn't have a demarcation of time frame. When you are in lab, you are working, you need to carry out your experiment until it comes to a conclusion or some inference you are able to draw. So that becomes challenging. We are this is not a hurdle, but this could be a hitch. But now trends have changed. We are collaborating. Now people have outgrown all those limitations. But I would like to mention here the off-late West Bengal incidents in Calcutta with a lady doctor who was on duty. So there, when you talk about such or hear about such instances, yes, we are only talking on papers about gender equity. It is a far distance to reach.
What are some of the significant research studies that pharmaceutical science is doing for development of women's health?
Okay. See, basically, we are now, if you focus on what is the latest advancement happening with respect to women health, is the first and foremost very important is hormonal therapies. Because women go through different phases of life, different phases of health during her lifetime. So when puberty comes, she starts with her menstrual cycle. Then when she conceives, she has to go through motherhood. Then she comes to a phase where she is into again lactation period. Then she comes to an age where she enters into perimenopause. Then she has a menopause phase. And during this journey, women's in India, not only women, even men, which is a big concern that everybody lacks vitamin D. So we have major issues of osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis picking up with age. So these are some diseases which we call them as neglected diseases. Our lifestyles, we are not working on our lifestyles. We are not taking into nutrition, vitamin D sources. So all these demand kind of attitude where we make women and girls aware of these kind of problems which may catch up in later years. So yes, the research is dynamically focused on hormonal therapies, then also on infertility. Because with the modernization, or you call it as industrial revolution, we are used to inhaling a lot of pollutants. So a lot of women are suffering from infertility problems. So that's one more place where you will see. Then sex education. That's also being worked upon because as per a latest study I was reading the other day, it is said that by 2035, 60% of women will not marry. So imagine what is going to be the ecological balance, and everything is going to be disturbed because women force are getting educated. One side we want them to be educated, but one side it is creating an imbalance because they are becoming independent. So they don't find the reason of getting married, having children. So that is something which we need to make them aware of, that a right balance of everything is important.
So is there any reliable source for women for the information? Like, is there any government website or any portal for supporting women's health?
Yes, definitely. We have different government portals which keeps highlighting the latest information. Starting from Drugs Controller General of India website, which we call it as CDCSO. So if we log on to CDCSO website, it gives you the awareness about what is the latest happening with respect to drugs, marketed drugs. They give examples also. Even we have state government sites, that is central government. You can also see in your respective state. Otherwise, there is Indian Pharmaceutical Commission. India total branch is in Ghaziabad. And they have different pharmacovigilance centers. And nowadays, good industries have also come up with pharmacovigilance centers. Now, for example, we are an educational institute. We can also take an initiative. We can set up a drug information center. It's a room with some people of qualified with pharmacovigilance background, with a computer and system be seated. And in close proximity, whoever are the doctors, practicing doctors, if we tell them, if you come across any kind of side effects being reported by the common public, you please inform us. So that is how the information floats. So doctor has a prescribing habit. Some doctors, they go with a particular brand. So you may be visiting a physician. Every doctor has a prescribing habit. So when he gets back his rotational patients, floating patients are rare. That I am traveling, so I had an illness, I walked in. Otherwise, generally we go to the doctor who is in our own area. So when you have your rotating patients, they'll give you a feedback. Sir, last time you gave me this medicine, I'm ending up with rashes. So that's a side effect. Or somebody may say that I have a diarrhea. Many people hesitate taking antibiotics. So these kind of feedbacks come. And doctor is supposed to inform DICs, which we call it as Drug Information Center. Across the country, these DICs will pass on the information to DCGI office, that is Drugs Controller General, or we can pass it on to Indian Pharmaceutical Commission. They have a main pharmacovigilance center operated by the central government. And then the government takes the initiative, records the information and verifies, is it true or not? And how much of percentage of people are impacted. Then a review committee sits. Review committee does all the analysis, because when a drug goes to the market, it has already gone through so much of screening. But still people are reporting. So I can give you an example if you are into reading novels. It's a which popular story of 1930s, thalidomide tragedy. Across the world, when a woman gets pregnant, in her first trimester, that is first 3 months, many women have morning sickness. Morning when they get up, they have feeling like vomiting. That's called nausea. So in order to curb that, they came out with this drug called thalidomide. So the advantage of this drug was, when you take this early morning, women used to not feel like vomiting. So people started misusing it without understanding the consequence. And when these ladies delivered, on completion of 9 months, the babies were born with a malfunction, which we call it as phocomelia. The babies had no arms and limbs, only the body. Their growth was stunted. So that created a havoc globally, and this drug was immediately banned and withdrawn. So these kind of tragedies should not repeat. So that is why reviews are important, and nowadays pharmacovigilance has become an integral part of research.
So where we are talking about misuses of medicines, as you were saying, so how unsafe medications put impacts on women's health, especially their hormonal and reproductive health?
See, definitely, because anything which is not needed is going to damage. So when your body does not need, see now for example, some people have the habit, you take self-medication. Now, let me give you a simple example. Some ladies have the habit that, okay, I have arm pain, leg pain, so they start taking painkillers. So you become adapted to it. It's something like an addiction, which we call it as drug abuse. You're abusing the drug. So later when you really have pain, that dose will not show activity because your body has got resistant to it. So what you will do? You will either increase the dose. Now, tramadol is the brand name of a painkiller which is banned in India. In common words, you must have heard of Brufen.
Yes.
This was taken by girls during menstruation, because in the first day of menstruation, a lot of girls have stomach muscle cramps, stomach pain. So nowadays they use Meftal-Spas. That's a tablet without even taking any consultation. Every girl generally who has these cramps problem, she takes this tablet. Now what happens is, this is a banned drug. Now there will be a time where this medicine will stop showing activity in your body. So what will be the consequence? So today we are talking about antibiotic resistance. We are now taking 3rd generation and 4th generation of antibiotics. Penicillin, you must have heard, that was 1st generation. Now when you go to doctor, he starts with amoxicillin, ampicillin, chloramphenicol. So there will be a time where all these antibiotics will stop showing action in our body, and a person suffering from common cold will also die because no drug is going to show action. It's a viral or a bacterial infection. Cold is what? Viral infection. So that situation should not come.
So you have already talked about banned medicine. I was supposed to be coming to the point as well. So is there any specific process of banning a medicine in India? And
yes.
if there is, what is that?
As I just gave you an example of thalidomide, either that was in 1930s, but now we have moved forward. Now in current times, drug is not launched so easily. We have to go through a lot of regulatory processes. We have to get approvals, and then the drug gets its entry into the market. It's not easy now. So that is why many companies don't attempt, because it's a time consuming and a very expensive process. But yes, when it is in clinical trial phase 4 and 5, when it's in the market, because now masses are taking, but they keep monitoring. Now for example, Nimucilide, it was available, now also it's available in India. Remulid, you must have heard, painkiller. Remulid, Nimulid, these are different pharma companies manufacturing. But countries like Sweden, if you see European countries, this is totally banned. 1 or 2 doses is not dangerous. But if you take regularly, see for example, diseases like arthritis. Arthritis is an autoimmune disease. So it cannot be reversed. So until we are alive, we have to continue. we'll take care that it does not increase, but the pain will be intense. Winters, so as winters are around, people start taking painkillers for their regular day-to-day working. Now what happens is when you're taking a painkiller regularly, it impacts your liver. So your liver damages. So for that reason, these kind of drugs are banned in countries like Sweden, whereas in India, even today it's available. So our regulatory bodies like Drug Controller General, Drug Control Department, they have to come into effective force, and they take advantage of the information given across the country by different physicians, pharmacists, health workers, and then they call. As I told you, the process is the same. Information is collected, introspected, then reviewed, then a committee takes a decision. When it's taken, then they withdraw from the market.
Correct.
That is how it is now categorized under banned medicine.
And what is your thought on AI-driven drug discovery nowadays?
Definitely, we are in the world of technology impacted. As I told you, we are just one click away. So with digitalization, it has impacted healthcare industry also. Drug discovery nowadays is not possible without AI.
Yeah.
There are so much of patient information coming in. Now, if I have born 50 years back and I'll be alive for next 20 years, my full history of 70 years, the computer has to store it. Because if I have to be treated for something after 5 years, my previous history is important. So now this has become easier.
Yeah.
So if my physician is aware of my history, so this I call it as personalized medicine. So he can give me the right dose for the right disease at the right time. I'll get the right remedy. So medical science is not trial and error. It used to be that you have a disease, hit 5 stones, 1 stone will go and hit the target. Even now physicians, when you go, what do you see? He'll give you 1 blue color tablet, 1 pink color tablet, 1 white color. He says you take this in the morning, give 5 years gap. So what is he doing? He's giving you 1 antibiotic, 1 anti-allergic. So any one will act on your body. So that should not be the fate, because our drug gets exposure to unnecessary drugs. So AI impact, machine learning has made or it has opened the avenues where we can use these tools and improvise healthcare. Nowadays you must have seen the ad of Google. You see your retina color and they will tell you whether you are prone to heart attacks or not. So that's AI.
Yeah. So ma'am, it was a very nice conversation with you, and the conversation was full of information and knowledge as well. Ma'am, if you have any message for the audience regarding health, women health and all, please.
ये message तो बहुत पुराना है, health is wealth. So dear all, love yourself, love your health, and if man changa, katoti mein ganga. So if you're good, the world will be good. Thank you.
Really liked the conversation, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
So with that, I would like to end up the show, and I hope you guys liked the show. If you like, please do not forget to hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button as well. And if you have any thought on the show, and if you do request us on any specific topic, please email on this account, and we will see you very soon. Till then, take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.